Hi folks, welcome back to the Hoard. It's actually, what is that, 1:42. We picked up an hour, so 3 hours, I don't know. Actually, I'm not quite sure what time it is. Yeah, 2:42, 1:42. Yeah, we got an extra hour of sleep. I still have to adjust all the clocks. Anyway, what am I up to today? Let me show you. I bought these two critters home yesterday, two new additions to the Hoard. This is a 1986 Honda 200S. You can see the 200S part, and there's the sticker, right? And it has the numbers intact. That's always a good thing. So there you go. For anybody who's interested in the particulars on these things, 85 has a downshift pattern. So when you push it down, or an upshift pattern rather. But I put the recoil on there and it's in the way. Before I put this on here, I checked it and it does in fact shift, which is all good stuff. And why did they do that? By the time we got to 1985, they already figured out that people were killing themselves with these things, driving in an interesting way. And what the downshift pattern allows you to do is you put it into neutral, then you step on it, which puts you in first, but you hold it down. And then you grab a hold of the throttle here and wind it all up. And then you let go of that. Well, when you let go of it, it engages the clutch. The clutch in these things is centrifugal, but it also has, depending on if you push the shifter down and hold it, especially for first gear, well, for all gears, it'll disengage the clutch. And then when you let it go, it engages the clutch, which is a wonderful thing because the engine's wound up, you got plenty of torque, you lean back, you let go of that thing, and the front wheel comes right up. But they figured out folks were killing themselves, so they went to the upshift pattern. The upshift pattern, it's a lot harder to do that. Just mechanically, as you're sitting on the bike, you kind of pop it into gear by lifting it up from neutral to first, you lift up. But holding it is harder to do, and as you try to let it go, right, the bike wheelies, which has a tendency to make your foot hit it and put it back into neutral. So anyway, I'm told, and I'll just take it for granted, that the upshift pattern was supposed to cut down on the number of people who would, take them ass over tea kettle, right? Back to this one specifically, it's got huge back tires on it, right? And just look at that. It should have 22 11/8s. It has 25 13 9s. So it's got like bulldozer tires here, right? 25, 13, and 9. So my lean is to get back to the 22 11/8. And what I'm doing is I'm looking this thing over to figure out, am I going to keep it intact or is this thing a parts bike? The recoil starter is mine. I had to put that on there to check the compression, and just quickly, it's got plenty of compression. So that's a good sign. The front tire, they seem to have put this on here, then put like a pipe to keep the front tire centered. I guess all the brake type components are out of there. The front tire has a tube in it, but I'm not exactly sure it's the right tube, because it seems to have this fold over here. I don't know how well you guys could see it. The front suspension's there. The front forks are tight. The gas tank actually looks pretty good on the outside. On the inside, it needs a little rust treatment. The seat, the plastic is underneath it, but you guys could see somebody must have had a big set that wore a hole in it there. Plastics, you can see what happened in the front. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what this whole thing's about, but front plastic is, you know, kind of messed up. I'm not sure what's with the yellow stripe. I might have, if I had to stripe it, I probably would have gone with one of the blue colors. Yeah, one of the, there was a comment from last night about the yellow stripe. I'm not a big fan of the yellow stripe. Trunk is really pretty good. Looks like at some point they might have put a rack on the back here because it's worn and it's got those holes. So this side, the fender isn't too bad. That side's a little more ugly. I don't know. Some people like go crazy about that. To me, that's kind of part of the patina. The exhaust system looks like it's intact. Back brakes are pooched. You can see that's tightened as much as it'll go. Rear end seems tight. It doesn't appear as if they're welded. The wheel, I don't know, what do we want to call those? Hubs. The wheel hubs are not welded to the back, which is really a nice sign. This is seized. As a matter of fact, I should spray that because I was trying to tap this up while I was at Stoney's place. And the reason why I was trying to tap it up, the way I had it standing upright, this attempted to break my back window, which, by the way, would have really sucked. We put a piece of plywood in between the two. This thing didn't seem to do any damage to my truck, which is a good thing. I'm not sure why they filled this with putty here. That's normally not a good sign. It does have compression, and I think assuming the carburetor, I get the carburetor working, it'll start. It does not appear to have spark. I tried it with this plug, and I tried it with a new plug, another plug, and it doesn't seem to have any spark. If you look at the plug, you guys could see it probably is an oil burner, right? You could probably also guess that because of the way the pipe here seems to be covered with oil. And I've seen them worse than that. So it might be an oil burner. Obviously no headlight. No tail light. And the wire harness looks like somebody put some time and effort into messing it up. Sorry about the wind, guys and gals, if there's any gals watching. I'm going to try to get this thing started and see what kind of shape it's in, and my plan is to more or less keep it intact. I don't plan on taking it apart at this point. I plan on keeping it together Now, for quick question to Calvin. Calvin, did yours have a downshift pattern or an upshift pattern? When you popped it into gear, did you push down to hit first, or did you have to lift it up to hit first? Because I think you said yours was an 84, which should have been a push down. This is an 85, which is a lift up. This is like the first bike I bought, my original, which is sitting in the garage, and the front tire is flat. Something else I need to replace. Yeah, that guy with the stuff on it over there. Right. So, even the side tire's getting flat. Alright. Tomorrow, I'm probably going to pull the carb off of it. And actually, the carb is no good. The carb has a spring on it. Listen. When I let it go, it snaps back. So I have to change the carb out. I need to put a carb on there, or at least part of the carb that holds the choke on. So I might swap the carb out. I might fix the carb that's in there. I got to see what it looks like. And I got to put my portable CDI box on there. And then, assuming she starts up and she looks pretty good, she doesn't smoke too horrible much, then what I'm going to do is probably, get it running. I do have to get this out of the way, because that's sticking down low. It's you're just asking for all kinds of trouble there. It does have oil on it, and it didn't seem to leave, oil spots all over the place. It's not like a Harley that marks its territory, or the old Harleys that mark their territory. So I'm happy about that, though I'm not quite sure what's going on with this. I mean, I don't know. This part of the case is cracked. This is the clutch side. So if worst comes to worst, there is a trick. Assuming, once again, you have no damage to the case, use that former gasket stuff, and you press it real tight. I mean the brown stuff, the stuff that smells like shoe polish. I've had pretty good luck with that for, I call it kind of gluing things together. That stuff, when you squeeze it, I don't know, it's kind of like denture cream. It creates a bond. The only bad thing is when it's time to take things apart, it's really, really tough. Mice. My mouse count, I think I'm up at 8 or 9 now. There was another one up here, and I think I've caught 4 or 5 downstairs. So I've caught, I don't know, 4. I think 4 or 5 up here and 4 or 5 downstairs. So my mouse count is some 8, 9, something like that. So folks, make sure you get your mouse traps out. As a matter of fact, I added another one to the crew of mouse traps. I'm going to show you guys one more thing. I'm going to start up the Murray, but I want to keep these videos less than 3 days long. So folks, remember to keep your feet down, keep your head up, and please get out there and enjoy all your days. Even if your house is full, you have room for one more Honda. Trust me on this. Bye now, folks.